Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Jesse in the auditorium. I hope you're all well. I listen to video game music, and today we are returning the long-awaited return by me, Plok. I know for sure I've heard it one time before, and I love that song. I forgot what it was, but I love that one. And come to find out that that was Tim Follin, who's like a legend in the VGM world, and here we go again. So we're gonna be hearing two songs. First one is called Creepy Crag, from the channel Atoto72. And then this one, I don't know, you guys gotta tell me what's up with this one. It says A Line in the Sand, Plok 2019 cassette release. Yeah, cassette release. So let me know what's up with that, if it's from the original game or something. 2019 cassette release, those are three words you don't hear together. Requested by Anthony and Jonathan. Well, I'm excited. Tim Follin has become someone that I found out I need to hear more of, but everything I have heard has been phenomenal. So let's go with Creepy Crag from Plok on the SNES. Muted. I swore I just clicked on mute. It's hard to make these videos sometimes. All right, let's go. What year was this? SNES might be like 93? 93, I got it, yeah. September 1993. Bass melody. That's cool. They're repeating arpeggio on the back. Wow. MIDI electric guitar. Just gets the shades. Let's get the shades. I kind of hate a little bit that this became like somewhat of a meme on this channel, but at the same time, I don't know. I'm 50-50 on it. But it is like the ultimate cool signifier. I want to see if they do that bass rhythm again. I think it was this, yeah. We got two melodies here. Three melodies. One on the right, one on the left, and then one going from left to right. And then chords. Da, da, da. And the bass drops out. That's so crazy. Wow. Wow. It's everything I hoped for coming back to this game and more. I was like, how are they gonna top the other one I heard? This is how. I would be so captivated if I was experiencing this as a kid in 1993. I would be losing my mind. And there's still like probably sound effects over it. Wow. One thing kept going through my mind this whole time. So before the auditorium, when I was just uploading random like guitar videos and stuff, before the like video game reaction stuff, I never cared or thought to look up or find info on any composers type of thing. It just wasn't my thing. And to be honest, I still don't really do it. I just sometimes I see a name reoccurring often, you know, once I click videos, and I'll check the description and I'll see some familiar names, but I don't really go out of my way to see their library or something unless I'm like really interested. But what I get from this and when it comes to like the Follin brothers, I guess there's like 2 or 3 of them. I know there's 2, but I think Tim might be the most the one that wrote the most music, and the other ones kind of helped, something like that. I don't know, I haven't seen too much info about him, but what I get from hearing Tim and Plok especially, I don't know if this is one of his earlier projects or he was already established, but I feel that this is a composer that like was multiple things ahead of their time and like a huge influence to many that are here now, because people that grew up with this are now of the age of creating their own songs in games. And I don't doubt for a second that there's video game composers right now that list Tim Follin as a influence, you know? Like, this is 1993. Like, what music was even sounding like that at that time? You know, not much. What was popular in 93? Probably like West Coast gangster rap and damn, I don't even know. You know, like this whole like progressive experimental, like to me, I don't know how big the SNES memory was, but to me, every time I hear a Tim Follin song, it sounds like he pushed the capabilities of those little cartridges just in the song. So it makes me wonder, like during the gameplay of this, is it one of those instances where like if you like shoot something or whatever, does it take away from the song? You know, does it pull away the audio, or is it all just there at the same time? Because it did happen on Sega for sure on some games. I can't remember them at the top of my head, but I do remember that being a thing. Like, you know, you hit an enemy and it just that sound effect takes over and then like mutes the song for a bit. I can't even imagine what that was. I don't know what kind of game Plok is. Creepy Crag sounds like a boss, just single names. You know, and I talk about Earthworm Jim here often because it's one of those games that like really kind of left an impression on me. It's one of those games I completed, which is pretty hard at the time. And now I'm starting to wonder if that was like a big influence from Plok, because when I see this, I see like the same kind of aesthetic as Earthworm Jim, like both kind of, you know, the font, the character look, and all that. So I wonder if it's like I'm truly wondering like how influential was Plok, because I don't hear a lot of people talk about the game, and I don't have a lot of requests for it. I only have one more. So I have the one that I did, these two, and then I have another one. So 4 requests total out of thousands of requests. So I don't know. And apparently this was the era of like very short loops, right? Like people tell me all the time that they are hesitant on requesting SNES stuff or like early 90s stuff because it was just like 30-second, 1 minute loops. That was like a full-on song, you know. I think it was like 2 loops and a half, but yeah, man, it's just, there's just like a real like important aura when I listen to Tim. And apparently I experienced Tim Follin much earlier than I thought, because I looked into it. I'm working on a video that I'm not going to say what it is, but I was looking at composers for this game called Ghouls and Ghosts, which you might have heard of, and he's listed on there. I don't know if he created, you know, when it comes to Ghouls and Ghosts, that game is always like very confusing to me because there's like Super Ghouls and Goblins, there's Super Ghouls and Ghosts, there's the arcade version. I don't know what came first. I'm guessing the arcade, and then it got ported. So I don't know who created the original soundtrack, but I know that somehow Tim Follin was like involved somewhere in that. And I grew up with that game, you know, with what's his name, Sir Arthur, and that soundtrack left a huge impression on me early on. So, like I said, I've without even knowing, I've been experiencing Tim Follin's music for a while. Not a whole lot, but I mean, Ghouls and Ghosts is one of those soundtracks that I have always remembered as a kid. Dun, 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 dun. You know, like, I don't know. I just feel like this has paved the way for so many things, and it's kind of intimidating. But that was amazing. The use of all the bass, the changing rhythms. There's not much else to say. That was fantastic. And like I said, I don't think anything else was going to top the other song, which I can't remember what it's called. Let me just look it up while I start the next one. That was... See, I never did this beforehand. Jesse's Auditorium. Plok. Boss Team. Yeah. So I've only heard one song from this game. Boss Team. That was a year ago. Damn. Okay. Now this, I have no idea what this is. So you guys have to tell me this 2019 cassette release. A Line in the Sand. I'm going to assume this is a song that's in the game normally. But I don't know. Just let me know. This is from channel Some Music Laying Around. Oh, it says right here, aka Beach. So it was probably a beach stage. Okay, let's go. A Line in the Sand. I'm going to assume this is not the original hardware, and it probably sounds a little different, but who knows? Actually, let me see if there's an original song. I'm gonna look that into that. Okay, no, I don't think this is the original. There's a good chance I'll check out the original after this. Oh well. Whoa, dude, like, the vibes are totally different now. Now they're all, like, chill. Usually I would hear an original first and then this, but the original wasn't requested. So I'll just take it upon myself to hear it after. Oh, I love the chords in the background. Like they kind of sound like they're warping. Wow, what a difference. I would have never guessed this is the same game. Which is a good thing. Ooh, so many like swells everywhere. It's like tickling my brain. I can't imagine the original being. The original is gonna sound so crunchy, I think. Oh, the bass hitting at the same time. Yeah, it's giving a lot of oomph. Yeah. I would have never guessed beach. But it definitely sounds lighter and like more festive. But now that I know that it's a beach, sure, you know. Gonna have to think about doing a beach vibes episode one day. We got a minute left. I'm gonna go straight into the original after this one. I can't wait to hear the drums in the original, and the bass, and everything else. Cool effect, like a little ripple effect. Alright, let's get ready for the original. Will this fade out? Alright, so yeah, that's a line in the sand, also known as beach. So we're going to go straight into the original. This is from the channel from the first one, Ototo72. This was not requested. I usually don't do this, but one, I know the comments would be like, why don't you hear the original? And two, I want to hear the original. So this is The Beach, or A Line in the Sand. I'm glad I looked into it. I don't always do that. This game's soundtrack is really good, dude. I want to hear the rest of it. The changes, the rhythm are so good. You know what? The re-release that we just heard was pretty damn faithful. It didn't change much. But if you guys know what that was about, let me know what that was about. Oh, dude. Tim Follin. Seriously. 1993. I want to hear what his first game was. I've heard Pictionary. I've heard... I've heard a couple songs from him. Oh. Wow, dude. I can't stop thinking, like, 1993, being a kid hearing this, like, I feel like you'd be like, Mom, Dad, listen to this. And you're like, yeah, that's nice, sweetie, but you're like, no, really, like, listen to this. This must have sounded like Alien in... And again, what is he an alien? It looks like him. Oh, I just love how punchy it feels. I don't even care if there's a long video. This is a great pair of songs. I don't think you can do wrong with this composer. Apparently this one was composed by Tim and Jeff. Who knows? Either way, that bloodline is... I'm very curious what your thoughts are if this is your first time experiencing this composer or this game. Someone out there took a chance on this video and is watching for the first time. Almost over. Says 1,200 comments. I gotta read some of these comments, dude. I already know what I'm gonna say, but wow, dude, just seriously, one more time. What an amazing group of, what a family, you know, what a family. To I just can't imagine, you know. For example, my first video game music experience ever was either Mortal Kombat 1 on the Genesis or Sonic 1. I don't know which one. It was one of those two because I had them both. But I remember being like a really young kid, early 90s, and hearing music from games, and I was just like, huh, you know, like that's cool. And I can't imagine or I can imagine actually the somewhat similar feeling of being a kid or a teenager or whatever, just experiencing this game at that time when it released, taking a chance on it. I don't know how big of a deal Plok is, or if it's one of those kind of obscure games, or if it was a big deal. I don't know, but like just taking a chance and buying it or renting it, and then hearing that, I feel like this is one of those soundtracks where you are immediately. This is before the internet, so immediately you like went to school or work, and you're like just talking about it. Like, dude, have you heard I've been playing this game called Plok, and like the soundtrack is incredible. Like, and look, okay, whatever, you weirdo. But it's a little more normalized now to talk about stuff we like, and video game music is getting its praise. It's always had praise, but it's getting out there. When I first started doing this, there was like 2 channels doing what I do now, and now there's kind of a bit. I've seen a handful. So it's getting out there. It's getting out there. And that's really cool, because I feel like and not to toot my own horn at all, but if it wasn't for channels like this and others, stuff like this would be lost to history unless you experienced it, or some streamer is randomly playing the music and the chat's like, hey, what's that? You know what I mean? Like, this deserves, all of them do, but this deserves to be heard. Follin already has praise, all this stuff, but like, it just needs to be heard. Just give it to a new generation. Anyways, that's all I had to say. Let me see what the comments say here, because this has almost 1 million views. Oh, and by the way, right before I get to this, I don't know what this is. Please let me know what this is, because this one took off the exclamation point. It just says Plok instead of Plok. And the character looks a little different. So I don't know, did they remaster this game? Did they do the soundtrack? Why does it say cassette release? Cassettes were not really a thing in 2019. I don't think they have been for like 15, 20 years or something. So let me know what's up with that. But I enjoy both. The re-release was cool. It sounded a little more, newer, I guess. But it was very faithful. It didn't, I'm glad I heard the original too, but they were pretty damn close, So whoever did that, I don't know if that was some, it says audio engineering Alberto Gonzalez. I don't know if that's a fan-made project or something. I don't know, but let me know if you know anything about that. So let's see the comments on Beach. Top comment: I found this on a worst video game music playlist. That is quite a start. I was shocked, to say the least. Just to clarify something, the playlist I found this on was deleted years ago. There's 5,000 likes on it. See, normally I would not even pay attention to that or give attention to that, because it's like a negative energy. I don't want to. But what? That is so nowhere near the same realm I'm at. Whoever made that list. Fun fact: this song only uses 5 of the 8 sound channels on the Super Nintendo. This song is technically more limited than most songs on the system. What? Oh my god. I love it when composers just say F it in the middle of a song, go completely different song that somehow still fits. Me too. Sorry, Mr. Follin, this sound chip is sample based. There's no saw wave. Records 0.001 seconds of saw wave and shoves it aggressively into the SMP without breaking eye contact. Sir, this is a Super Nintendo. I believe the term for people like Tim Follin is musical scientist. Okay, yeah, so nothing but praise. Yeah, dude. I'm honestly shocked that there's not a lot of requests for... I mean, I think I would have to assume in all of my request backlog... Well, I don't know how many games Tim Follin was in, but I don't think there's that many. Like I said, there's only 4 for Plok. I think 1 for Pictionary, which I did. And whatever else, I don't know. Like, what was his biggest project? What is he most known for? You know? There's a game I recently just did with... I don't remember. But, yeah, dude. Incredible. We're already going half an hour. Amazing composers who really influenced a lot of people. I can almost guarantee that. There's no way. Like your Undertales, your Dooms, your all that. That's pretty much, I think, comes from like this stuff. So 1993. Let me know if you experienced this as in 1993, or if it's your first time in 2024. Very curious. And what's up with the cassette re-release? Very cool. Thank you, Anthony and Jonathan. I love both songs, or all three, I should say. And yeah, let me know if I've also done Tim Follin stuff in the past and I didn't know it was him, because that happens sometimes. I don't always look up composers, just every now and then. Okay, cool. Thank you, all my Patreon supporters, Platinum supporters. Thanks to you for watching. My name is Jesse. Later.